What's going on, everyone? It's Dave from Smart Fitness. I got my diggity dong, Luke.
I'm back.
Today, we want to talk to you guys about something that's been driving us crazy, actually. As of late, at least. And that is training stupidly versus training smart with a high intensity. So we actually have a couple different categories about what we want to talk about here. Luke's got his computer screen towards the right here, so if you notice we're turning our heads, we're just grabbing our points off there. At the same time, Luke is eating his dinner, actually. He's got his window closing in the next hour or so he's got to get his last meal of the day in before that intermittent fasting life goes on.
You know it.
How's your fast going, by the way?
Pretty good. It's been a bit over 2 months now, and I've gotten very used to the fasting, very used to the whole programming and everything like that. And I've dropped down about 15 to 20 pounds, so it's been pretty significant, Denny.
I've gained that 15 to 20 pounds. Boom, boom, baby.
Now, you're huge and I'm small.
Okay, guys, now down to business here. So our first category we want to talk about here is the difference between training with intensity and smart training versus just being a plain old idiot. So being intense here, yes, it means getting a good sweat on, and burning yourself out are two completely different things. So you can train with intensity, you can train by sweating quite a bit profusely. Athletes train and sweat and are completely doused in it, but they're not training stupidly. They're not training to a point of burning themselves out so that they can't do anything else with their day. There's a completely different thing from training with crappy form and burning yourself out, and training with good form and burning out your muscles from muscle fatigue rather than muscle injury.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Like, for an example, if you're doing bicep curls, right, you can be doing, I don't know, a bit of a lighter weight for yourself, just going like that, like super bad form, bad speed, bad tempo, not much time under tension. You can be doing that for minutes and tire yourself out, but you're not really doing much work on your muscles, right? So
yeah,
and that's the idea.
We're gonna get to time under tension. So moving on to the next thing here, we've got muscle fatigue and failure due to a proper contraction versus feeling a burn that is probably more or less an injury coming, such as an overuse injury because you've done too many reps. So like Luke said here, you can do like 50 or 60 bicep curls going like this, but your elbows are going to hurt. The insertion point of your bicep and the origin is essentially just here to here. You don't need to really do like tons of movement, but
extra motion.
That extra motion is going to include, if you're just going like this, look at what I'm doing. My back is leaning back, my shoulders are coming into play. You don't need to do that. Just control the weight the whole way down. You can hit muscle failure and fatigue with proper form. Find a weight that works for you, come straight up, nice and controlled, and all the way back down. It's stupid to just pound out loads of reps and with a weight that's either too much or too little, and your form's gone out the window. It doesn't make any sense. You're not going to do anything good for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this goes back to what we were talking about with scapular retraction here. The longer you take to do a rep, more likely than not, the better you're going to be. But you're not going to be able to do that rep properly unless you've properly set yourself. So it goes back to the video I did with Luke where he had his shirt off and he was properly setting his scapula. But you rotate your shoulders back, drop them down, your shoulder blades have come together, depress your traps. Like with every single lift you should be doing this. It doesn't make sense to me why you would just pound out 40 or 50 reps. The amount of people that I see at the gym that they go in there and they're doing bench press and you've got a full rotation of your shoulder. It's like, what are you doing? You're just going to hurt yourself.
Yeah, so form is important. So like the next thing here, if you're always extending your elbow but not doing so in a correct way, it's going to injure yourself, like get some sort of tendonitis. I've already got some sort of like tennis elbow, so that it just makes it even worse for me. But yeah, for other people, you're just going to create problems.
Would you say that your tennis elbow came from your earlier days when you were lifting, maybe not incredibly crap form, but it wasn't exactly clean, time under tension?
Yeah, I'm not sure. That might be when it started. Like I'm not even 100% sure, but it definitely couldn't help having bad form. And now, obviously, like the worse form I use, the worse it's going to get. So I just have to be careful.
Exactly.
And makes sense, people.
Next, we're going to move on and talk about muscle fibers and their twitch during the exercise. So obviously, when you work out, your muscles are going to feel sore regardless, especially if you're new to working out. The first 6 months, or roughly anywhere from 6 weeks to 6 months for some people, is when they're going to notice the biggest composition changes in their body. And that is because your muscle fibers are doing something that they haven't done before. So obviously, you load your body with weight, it's going to resist to it, and you're going to have some sort of difference. But at the end of the day, there's a difference between a muscle twitch that's going to be effective and one that's going to be ineffective. You know what I mean? So let's just look at our notes here. So right here, I said in my notes, if you load your body enough, you can put tons of weight on it or low weight with a stupid amount of reps, increasing the chances of injury. It's an ineffective twitch. To hit a target zone of no more than 15 reps in many cases, obviously there's varieties, so that's based on your training. There's strength training versus some sort of fat loss training. You're going to create the same burn, but it's going to be a controlled manner, and your muscle fibers are going to react differently. And then even if it goes back to your workout, some people think that they need to feel the burn in order to have an effective workout. That is complete and total BS. That is old science that's been disproven years upon years. Just because you're not sore after your workout doesn't mean that it's been a bad workout. In many cases, the people that are sore in areas that they don't need to be sore. I wouldn't call them clients. I've seen people at the gym where they say that they've had a really intense workout, but they did a chest or a back day workout and their shoulders are sore. Your shoulders are going to get worked indirectly, but if you're doing a lat pull down, your major muscles being used are your latissimus dorsi and your traps. And if you rotate yourself back, set your scapula, you're taking a lot of your traps out of it, so it doesn't make sense to me as to how this is happening. Chances are you're using the wrong muscle groups in this so-called intense workout as it is, so you're not exactly helping yourself. Muscle fibers are going to be activated the moment you stress them. So the moment you add some sort of load, they're going to be stressed regardless. Being controlled, you're going to have much more of an effective workout. It may not feel like it, but you're going to be benefiting more. Chances are, the only reason why you're not feeling it is because it's getting easier, so you need to add a little bit more weight, increase your time under tension. Just don't be stupid with the weight.
Yeah,
anything you want to say to this?
Like my most sore workouts are basically after I take breaks. So the more you get used to putting this load on your body and on your muscles, you're not going to get those DOMs, the delayed onset muscle soreness as much because you're adapting, and that's pretty much how it is. That's when it's being used in the correct way. Like, say you're doing a chest workout and your chest is sore, but it's different from what Dave was saying about like your shoulders being sore after doing a back workout. That's no good at all.
Okay. So, and the last thing we want to talk about today is time under tension and range of motion versus going as fast as possible and as much as possible every single set. So I disagree with this 100%. People that will go and do like 30 or 40 curls, or they'll do 12 reps literally just going like this, you're not really helping yourself. You're not going to see much growth. 9 times out of 10, the people that you see doing this and are making gains from it or some sort of positive growth are typically people that are on some sort of steroid or anabolic supplement. I don't want to be that guy that goes out there and just hates on people, calling them steroid users, but realistically, more likely than not, they are. So what we would suggest is control every single rep. Your muscles, as we were talking about with a proper twitch in your muscle fibers, the more time under tension you have, the greater stress you're going to put on your body. So it's more likely to create some sort of positive stress for your body that'll be beneficial.
Mm-hmm. And get that full range of motion going as well.
Yeah.
That's very advantageous.
I agree in doing cheat reps, but there's really no point in doing cheat reps for every single set, every single rep of an exercise. If you have to do a cheat rep where you're doing a bicep curl, say you're doing a seated or a barbell curl, pretend I'm standing here. I don't have enough room to actually stand up for this video, guys, but pretend I'm standing with a barbell, and every single rep I'm leaning back and coming forward. Every single rep, every single set. Your range of motion is going to go down. Your time under tension is going to go down because you're more than likely not going to be going that slow as what I was just doing there. Your lower back's going to start hurting without a doubt, and your shoulders are going to be activated a heck of a lot more. Control the weight, control the reps. It only makes sense. Going through a full range of motion is far more effective as it is. And when it's done correctly with every single rep on a tempo that is actually more than just a 1-1-1, so 1 second negative, 1 second pause, 1 second positive, and another pause. I'll go into this in another video, guys, about tempos. The more you actually increase your tempo, the more it's going to increase your time under tension. Obviously, a set that's 15 seconds versus one that's 6 seconds is going to produce a different change, even if it's the same amount of reps. Just something to think about, guys. Mm-hmm. It's all about time under tension, controlling the weight. Intensity does not necessarily mean being fast Obviously, you have to be fast with some lifts, like the deadlift is an explosive lift. You can't sit there and take like 3 or 4 seconds on a heavy deadlift. It's just something is going to go wrong that's not beneficial.
Yeah, train smart rather than overexerting yourself with little to no results.
Yeah.
That's the essential essence of this, I'd say.
Or you can get yourself some steroids.
That too.
But we don't condone that here.
Yeah, what are you trying to say?
All right, guys. Let me know what you think. We just want to talk briefly here about intensity, time under tension, training smart, obviously. Comment, subscribe. We'll talk to you soon.